Hello once again, it's your boy That's No Moon. We are back today with another one to Gear 13. This one is coming from downtown. This one is going from Gear 9, Gear 10 all the way up to Gear 13. Now, when I first had a look at Shore Trooper and the raw numbers over on StarWarsGalaxyHeroes.gg, I was very, very surprised at how few people had this in this exclusive club of Gear 13. And I'll give my recommendation on whether I feel it is absolutely worth getting this character up to Gear 13 or whether it is more a luxury as well. So having a look at the numbers, we have around about 215,000 Shore Troopers in at level 85 at the moment. Then star-wise, we have 156,000 who are at 7-star. Now the gear distribution really did surprise me. As I said, there's only 2% of the player base who actually have this character at Gear 13. Relatively even spread at 12, 11, and 10, and then there's a huge amount at Gear 8. And if I remember right, because mine's going to be coming from Gear level 10, this was a stun gun issue, and I think you need a stun gun to get from Gear 8 to Gear 9. I can't remember exactly, but I see why. And also there is perceived value in this character where there are probably better tanks, or Royal Guard now is a Sith Eternal Emperor and is basically a Shore Trooper 1.0, and Shore Trooper is 2.0. But I'm going to delve into his kit a little bit, look at his appliance in the game, and the reasons as to why I went for this character at Gear 13 as well. So having a look at Shore Trooper at Gear 10, he's around about 72,000 health and protection. Armor is around about 42%, and that's at 10.4. So here again we can see at 10 we need one stun gun and we need another stun gun. Now this for me was a little bit of a luxury character. Now the reason being is I really like this character, and I feel that again there's another stun cuff there as well, a stun gun there as well. But in terms of this character, this took me around about a week to get the gear collected up and things like that. And the motivation for it is for in the Vader team, and I'll have some footage towards the end of this as well, but I'm just going to have a look at the raw stats. I think in 3v3 he's going to be incredibly important. I think as troopers now at the time of writing become a much more important faction, and I'm going to be delving a huge amount of time and resources into troopers as well. I think that they're an amazing faction, and I've held off on them for far too long rather than go for another Galactic Legend straight away. So I've got 2 at the moment. I'm going to be delving into and shoring up my my actual other teams in the game as well. So you can see here, just waiting on those, and then he's going to be going to Gear 12. So having a look at this, we deal physical damage, and again, this one as well is a little bit OP. So when we have a look, all allies recover health equal to his max health. That I'm not really too bothered about. Whether it's in an Imperial Troopers team or a Vader team, the chances are our main priority isn't going to be healing, but the other side of it is going to be like the crit hit immunity as well. And whenever we lose a buff, we're going to reduce this cooldown by 1 as well. In terms of under the Thrawn lead as well, it is going to be incredible. Well, it's going to be absolutely clutch. And whenever another Empire ally uses his special ability, if they're taunting, they gain 15% turn meter, and he's going to recover 10% health as well. Again, this kit is just built for that Thrawn lead. Now, at the moment, here he is again a little bit beefier at Gear 11, not a huge amount, but as I said, that's going to be the main stalling point. Is stun guns. Wherever you go along this, those aren't too bad. The eyeballs, although you need a huge amount of them, and then stun cuffs as well. But again, the Mark III Carbontes are all the way along this character's path as well, along with these. So yeah, it just is one of those things. And in terms of this, I used it more as a luxury than I did anything else, in honesty. So the reason being, I'm going to be going now for that counter, nailing down that Rey counter with Vader. And in terms of how I modded, I started off with, I really liked that that defense triangle, and I went with the defense set along with health primaries. I have remodded towards the end of the video as well to give probably what I think is going to be probably the best bang for the buck. So going now to Gear 12, there isn't going to be a huge amount of difference, but these are, and again, I had to wait a couple more days again to get this, but at gear 12 we're now looking pretty good at 135,000 health and protection. Armor is now at 45, and that is with 1 defense set on. Now this is a bit of an attacker's gear piece here, which I don't quite understand why is there. This doesn't really do a huge amount. I think tactics, if I remember right, increases special damage and resistance. So again, but there's a freebie, not many characters use it anyway. And this one, tactics, again, is like health, physical damage, crit damage, not a huge amount of usability in there. Now this one is much better. The huge addition to health, speed I actually quite like, and armor as well. These, however, are insanely expensive. On any GL grind, we're going to need a huge amount of these anyway, so if you are gearing for a Galactic Legend, unfortunately this isn't the character to be going for because it is very resource heavy, and we need another Mark III Carbonti there. And this one wasn't too bad either. Again, I have quite a lot of gear salvaged up, so again, at this point I think this character is perfectly usable at gear 12. I just wanted to see the difference between gear 12 and gear 13 in honesty, and get some actual footage in there as well. So here we are, we're going to be going, and I did have a bit of a remod, and I put a second set of defense on there as well. I will explain why in a second. But again, it is an expensive upgrade, but when I'm going for the troopers, I think it's worth going like all in on a faction to get the most out of them. And again, I think this character is going to be absolutely fantastic in terms of taking a load of hits as well. Now this one we're going to get a little bit more speed, a little bit more tenacity, etc., and a little bit more armor, which is always good actually. And just a quick fleeting thought as well. I don't think a huge amount of armor is going to help against Kylo Ren. I think that you just need to stack as much health and protection on as possible. Don't worry about the defense too much. But if you're taking on like other teams, I think defense is probably more important. So for me, I won't be using this character to take on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, but I will be using it to take on for Rey, and possibly in there with some other troopers as well. So again, let's apply that gear piece there, and I'm actually going to keep him at relic level 0 for the moment. Now, this is a freebie for me at the moment. It does not encroach on my top 85 GP. The other thing is, it's a pretty decent ship as well. And we have like offense down, we have capital ship loses 15% turn meter. It's not going to change anything, but again, there might be a little bit of viability in there with TIE Bomber as well. So I think it's this one, protection up, and if that Empire is ally, they receive an additional 20% protection up. So I think there is some usability in there with TIE Bomber. Now we've gone to health and protection. We're around about 140, 150,000. And the armor itself has now took a huge leap to 60%, which is massive. And I put some... I got him a lot quicker as well, and I still carried on playing with the mods as well for even a couple of days afterwards. But just to have a look in here, if I change out that defense as opposed to the protection, then I'm going to be having a look at... I'm going to give a rough example here. But there we're looking about 48, so around about 150,000 in there anyway. So again, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to play around with the mods themselves, and I'm actually going to dive into some footage. Where better to test than a live Grand Arena as well. And just of note, so any relics that do go on him, as I said, he's not going to be getting any relics from me at the moment, but it is something that I'll be doing in the future. We're looking at health increase, we're looking at armor increase, we're looking at armor in that agility growth as well, and we're looking at, in the strength tank mastery, more armor and protection. So I think this character is going to be hugely survivable at relic level 3 or 4 as well. But for me, it is an absolute freebie. I'm not going to be using this character at the moment. Okay, so jumping over to the footage, here's how I eventually ended up modding him. I did keep him on with 2 defense sets on there. Health, not a huge amount. We've got 47,000 and protection 102,000. Now speed, I put a lot of speed on him. That was just the way it fell with some quite nice defense mods as well. So that was kind of quite nice anyway to get to that. And I mean, 250 puts me in the top 50 players for this game. Obviously, it will have a huge amount of difference there of going. And the armor is around about 60% as well. So Thrawn lead, just as a precursor to this fight, I have lost every single Thrawn lead fight I've ever been in. So this was very, very new and very raw as well. Barriss is in there to throw a little bit of a spanner in the works anyway. So this could get quite spicy and quite interesting. So I think we go straight into Merciless at the moment. We deal with Finn. We take care of him. And yeah, pull some turn meter back there. Ability block all over the place to start with. There we go. Hitting in on Rey. Pull back some turn meter maybe on Barriss. And get some dots out there as well. Nice. So now we're going to put this weapons, sorry, not the weapons set, the shield tech over on Shore Trooper. And again, the reason that I prioritize protection is because of that use of shield tech. He's going to be getting 30%, so 30,000 each turn of protection back. That is a huge amount. So when you have a look at it of stacking that way, that's the whole reason why I did it. Here we go. He is now taunted. We've got the crit hit immunity there. And I don't think I go Culling Blade yet. I think I need to get an ability block over there. Okay, we're going to spam it round. We're going to put that over on Thrawn. Okay, you can see that there ain't really that much damage going in there. And as I said, I feel this is probably absolutely fine at gear level 12 for this counter to it, maybe even 11. Let me know in the comments there. But essentially this under this one, Rey shouldn't even get a turn. It is more so for just keeping Shore Trooper alive. I feel that probably at 10, 11, or even 12, this counter is absolutely fine anyway. But yeah, I really like how it handles. I like the usability with it. I think that in Trooper squads, it is going to be quite useful as well. I'm doing Veers next. And talking about, sorry, not Veers. I'm doing Stark next. And Stark kind of is, him and Shore Trooper have kind of are losing their place a little bit in the Imperial Troopers sort of side. I actually forgot here. And the reason for being that is... like with Moff Gideon being so quick as well, you kind of don't really need Stark in there either. But that's just kind of a thought. I actually forgot here that Barriss cleansed on her turn as well. So, or cleansed the weakest ally. So I've got to build up some more dots here. But you'll see that this fight was never ever in any doubt at all, really. And I think I'd just cycle through. And I think I'll just go darts. And I think, yeah, that won't make a damn bit of difference. I think I'll just cycle through here, just a basic. But you can see here that Shore absolutely has this completely under control, and there is absolutely zero danger. Barriss is just stalling it out a little bit, in all honesty. But there's not a huge amount there that she can do. She's gone now. Again, get that up, get some more dots on, and we wait for Vader to do his magic. So yeah, really, really like this character. Would I recommend it for early game, mid game? Absolutely not. Would I recommend it for later game and to sort of start working on an awesome faction? Absolutely. This character for me was more a passion project than it was a and you can see there's 60 banners as well. So yeah, when having a look at this Imperial Trooper faction, as I said, I'm going to be mainly working a lot, rather than a Galactic Legend, on these characters. I think they're a huge amount of fun. I think that they have a huge amount of viability, whether it be a Mon Mothma counter, whether it be a Sith Eternal Emperor counter as well. I think that there's not really many teams that they don't take down at high level either. So, as I said, Shore Trooper was certainly a little bit of a luxury. Next one on the list, and that is going to be happening probably tonight, is going to be Colonel Stark. He's going to be going to gear 13. I'm looking to have some fun with these characters anyway. And then a few days later, Death Trooper is going to Gear 13. Not sure at the time of writing what his rework is. Don't know if that's been published yet or not, but I know him and Stormtrooper are getting a touch up to their kits as well. So we could be delving into that one as well. And obviously Dark Trooper has just arrived to the game. Looks pretty good, looks pretty solid character as well. And also I'll be delving into Range Trooper as well pretty shortly. So, and Gideon and obviously Piet as well, which is an incredible character. So there's a huge amount of usability in all of these characters. You'll find a lot of the time that Shore Trooper or Piet will be pairing up with Vader, and the others like Veers, Stark, Piet, Range Trooper and Gideon, etc. But there is a huge amount of flexibility here. So for me, this was great. It's a passion project. I think this character, as I said, is absolutely fine at probably gear level 10 or 11. It's a pre-taunt at the end of the day, and it does the job for a lot of people as well. So he's not the driving force, but he does add a lot to that team and to that Vader counter as well under the Thrawn lead. So I'm very, very happy. I'm more happy with this character than I have been with a lot of them that I've taken to gear 13, and it's very rare for a tank to get me excited. So hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully this helps out a little bit, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of something to think about as well. I've been That's So Moon. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button as always, and Discord if you do want to chat any more Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, anything Star Wars Galaxy Heroes related. You can feel free to join the Discord, which is in the description in the link down below. See you all next time. Cheers, guys.